Hey everybody, welcome back. Okay, a Florida man walks into a bar. Sure, it sounds like the start of a terrible joke, but it's actually what happened in this Supreme Court case. So go ahead and smash that like button and let me tell you the story. This is another super famous landmark Supreme Court case, and it all starts with a Florida man. And who better to tell you a story like this than a Florida man like yours truly? This case is so famous they even made it into a movie called Gideon's Trumpet. Check it out if you like 1980s TV movies. Anyway, what happened is that one day somebody broke into a pool hall and stole money from the cash register. Later that day, a witness said that he saw Clarence Earl Gideon walking away from the pool hall with a bottle of wine, a Coke, and change in his pockets. Based only on that evidence, the police arrested Gideon. When he appeared in court, Gideon, who was homeless, asked the state to provide him with an attorney since he couldn't afford one. However, the judge denied his request, insisting that in Florida, the state only had to provide an attorney in capital cases. Forced to represent himself, Gideon was found guilty of breaking and entering and sentenced to 5 years in prison. From prison, Gideon filed a handwritten appeal to the Supreme Court to hear his case, which they agreed to do. The issue before the court was whether the Sixth Amendment's right to counsel, or to an attorney, applies to felony defendants in state courts. In 1963, a unanimous Supreme Court held that states must provide attorneys for defendants who can't afford one, incorporating the right to an attorney. This case was a massive victory for the rights of the accused, and one of several cases in the 60s that protected and extended the Bill of Rights procedural due process rights to be binding on the states. Prior to Gideon, the Sixth Amendment's right to an attorney only applied in federal cases. But the court's reasoning in Gideon means that the Sixth Amendment's right to legal counsel applies to defendants in state trials through the 14th Amendment's due process clause. The majority opinion said that it was obvious that a person who couldn't afford an attorney wouldn't have a fair trial unless one is appointed for him. Further, Justice Black also wrote that denying a poor person an attorney would violate his procedural due process rights. So a Florida man walks into a bar, walks out of the Supreme Court with the Sixth Amendment incorporated to the states. Not too shabby for a Florida man. Alright, well that's it for this one. Until next time, this has been a La Money production. Thanks again for watching and supporting my channel. Make sure you hit that like button and that you're subscribed, and check out the Ultimate Review Packet if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video.